Another come-from-behind win. This time, the Mets are the world champions, and we'll have team coverage at Shea as the celebration continues in the stands and the Mets locker room.
We'll share that sweet moment of victory with fans who could not be at the game. Also ahead, a former Air Force man arrested for spying. The New York Mets are baseball's 1986 world champions.
Yeah, and they won the World Series tonight the way they won virtually all of their postseason games. Gutsy, heart-stopping, come-from-behind baseball. Miracle upon miracle, from the brink of defeat to a 16th inning win in Houston. Then Saturday night at Shea, down 2 runs and 2 outs and 2 strikes in the bottom of the 10th. One swing of the bat away from extinction. The Mets squeezed out 3 desperation runs to win. And tonight in Game 7 at Shea, the series tied 3-3, down 3 runs into the 6th. The Mets once again reached into their bag of miracles, and they are the 1986 world champions. Len Berman begins our team coverage. Len?
Thank you, Chuck. They called them the Amazing Mets in 1969 when they last won the World Series. So what do you call these champions? They were dead and gone Saturday and came back. They looked dead in the 6th tonight, down 3-0. They came back to tie again. Call them doubly amazing. And please be kind to any Red Sox fan you encounter. They've been in 4 World Series since they last won with Babe Ruth in 1918. All 4 series went 7 games. They lost all 4. Doubly amazing. And I'll have a lot more later.
Yeah, so you're looking now at the lights over the infield in Shea Stadium, the last bank of lights that's on. They will go off soon for the last time in this glorious 1986 baseball season. But the heat that those lights will generate and that the tenants of this ballpark will generate will warm the hearts of Mets fans all winter long. And that's not chauvinism, it's a statement of fact. This team was
brought into this game. The usual complement for a baseball game is about 70 New York City police officers, but on this game, because of what you saw in the clincher where the fans took the field and tore it up, they brought in some 700 police officers, helmeted and with nightsticks, and the idea was not to ring the field this time so that the fans couldn't spill onto it. The idea was to ring the outside of the field, actually putting cops in the stands. And jokingly, the chief said, we're going to fight them high. Of course, they didn't really have to fight them at all. Ultimately, there were, I think, only 1 arrest for disorderly conduct. The arrests that were made tonight, which is about 5, generally had to do with people in the parking lot. Now, near the end of the game, someone threw a smoke bomb onto the field. That halted the game briefly. No one was arrested for that act, but it was something less spectacular than the recent parachuting we saw. So finally, when the game did end, the police department brought on some 80 cops on horseback. 80 cops on horseback. And while a couple of stragglers managed to get on the field, those cops on horseback, by the way, the tab for that has been picked up by the Mets, did manage to ring the field and cause enough of a visual deterrent, along with the cops who were in the stands, so that they were able to keep the field, not to the point just that the fans didn't take the field, but to the point that the Mets actually came back to the field after the fans started to leave and were able to drink champagne on the mound. So they had their own private celebration. But to talk about this crowd here, they're pretty excited and they're happy.
We were down 2 games to nothing. We did the inevitable, went into Boston, won 2 out of 3 there, and now we're here, and we're the world champions. We're enjoying it. We're celebrating, and that's really what it's all about.
We may not get Ray Knight on the air here, but I understand he's been named most valuable player, and that is an incredible story unto itself.
Yes, it is, and the comeback player of the year as well. Ray had a fantastic year for us, a great series, and everybody played such a large part of this series, and as far as I'm concerned, we're all MVPs because we just did it all together, and that's what it's all about. We're the world champions, and that's really all that matters.
Congratulations. See you at the parade tomorrow, right, Gary. With me is Roger McDowell, who gets the win in relief, even though you watched the game on the bench.
Yeah, I'll take it any way I can get it, you know. Jesse comes in, does a fantastic job, and shoot, I screwed away with the win, but we'll take it because we just won in the end. That's all that matters.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay. Congratulations. Okay, we'll have more from the clubhouse. One more, Lee Mazzilli. Another great story. Lee Mazzilli, picked up by the Mets in early August, went down to the minors so he could stay in the organization, was brought up in the World Series in Game 6. He comes through with a pinch hit single. Tonight he started the big rally with a pinch hit single in the 6th inning.
Well, I might have started it, Sal, but I'll tell you what, 23 other guys finished that rally for us, and we did it as a team. That's it.
I think Brooklyn exploded when you got your pinch single tonight.
I think 55,000 people in the stadium exploded. But anytime you can contribute to a team that's going to be the champions of the world, it is so gratifying. It is unbelievable. for me, it's just like a Cinderella story. And I got the glass slipper right now.
Carter followed with a single. Sal.
Okay, we're in the Mets locker room, and Ray Knight's getting a champagne bath, and so is Keith Hernandez. First, Ray Knight, the MVP. You came back from the depths of a key era, and you end up being the most valuable player.
Well, Sal, this game's ups and downs. It's a game of redeeming features, as I've said so many times. Just glad to get that opportunity to be up there.
You have your own personal hairdresser here.
Yeah, my buddy here, my best buddy. But the whole thing is, in this game you're going to make errors and you're going to fail. You just don't want to cost your team, your teammates and everything. I'm just elated. I don't want to hear anything about that error, though. I've heard enough of that.
Keith, maybe he doesn't want to talk about himself, but tell me what the Mets think of Ray Knight.
Hey, let me tell you, Ray, a lot of guys have gotten a lot of publicity about being leaders on this team. I'm speaking from the heart. Okay, Ray and I got so close this year, and we didn't last year because Ray had such a difficult season. And, when you're having a bad season and you're wondering whether because of Ray's injuries, and Ray can always hit. I played against Ray in AAA. Ray known each other for years, since '74. And to have Ray get the MVP, and really Ray is the deserving MVP. He got the gutty hits for us and deep in the count behind. But getting back to his leadership, I tend to get most of the press for leadership, but Ray is the unsung hero of this club. Ray's a very giving person, and I honestly feel that Ray gives more to this team than I do. I give myself to this team, but Ray gives himself more than anybody on this team, helping the young kids with advice, and it couldn't have happened to a finer man. He's my pallbearer when I die. He's going to outlive me, I know that.
On that happy note, we leave the Mets clubhouse. Congratulations. Now back to the studio.
Maybe they'll get any sleep tonight. Oh, by the way, the football game in the Meadowlands, the Giants lead Washington, hoping to tie for first, 27-20, very late in the game. And finally, we have all been through an emotional roller coaster the last 10 days. A review. Game 1 at Shea. A Tim Tuffle error. And Boston won Game 1, 1-0. Game 2, reliable Keith Hernandez with the error. The Mets threw away 2 games. But in Boston for Game 3, Lenny Dykstra got them going. The Red Sox defense faltered this time, and the Mets were alive. The Boston bubble also burst in Game 4. The agony of another loss, 4 straight home losses in this World Series. It was all even, 2 games apiece. The shaky defense continued in Game 5, another Red Sox win. And if you happen to drop in for Game 6, you saw a classic, as the Mets were given a second life, and the series was tied. Tonight, the picture tells the story. Wade Boggs, while the Mets celebrated on the mound. Turned out to be quite a World Series after all. Of course, we'll have a lot more tonight and tomorrow, and on we go.
All righty, then.
Thanks, that was nice.
Sal.
Yeah, let me get one sip.
We're back in the Mets clubhouse. Bobby Ojeda, Kevin Mitchell, and Tim Tuffle, who was classy enough to come on after his big goof in the first game, but now he's a world champion.
I'm the world champion, and the whole team is, and we're all very excited about it. We're having the first games all behind us.
Okay. Bobby Ojeda. You ain't no. It's Bobby Ojeda.
See, it don't hurt me. See, I have Bobby, how's it feel?
It feels incredible, Mr. Tuffle.
Like you're swimming.
Feels like I'm swimming, but I don't feel it. I don't feel a thing.
Sal is off the air, by the way.
These are shatterproof. These are... Would you quit drinking my beer?
Do you always act like this, Kevin Mitchell?
See,
You always
I
act
don't
like
feel a thing. Bodies at your local supermarket.
this interview is now over.
Rainproof, shatterproof.
Yeah, we want to...
Do we try it?
No. We want to thank Sal, though, for that illuminating interview there from the locker room. That's
We
very nice.
also want to thank Connie, who stood by all night.